We would like to welcome Mrs. Gauranga Darshan Prabhu. It's been a long time for us. So we'd like to welcome Prabhuji with a loud Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna.
What should we discuss? Not necessarily any topic you want, but any topic you want. Anything in your mind? You remember what we discussed 4 5 months back? three, three sessions we did, right? So far? Three. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Ajnanathmirandhasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschakya Deshatarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gauranga Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram. Hare Krishna. I offer my humble obeisances to all the devotees. There is somebody here after quite some time. It's a great fortune to come together and discuss Krishna Katha in the association of so many wonderful devotees. It's not an ordinary fortune because this is the aspiration of so many exalted devotees. If you remember, Dhruva Maharaj did tapasya for 6 months. He chanted the same mantra that we just chanted, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, on the bank of Yamuna in Madhuvan, in Vrindavan, on the with the guidance of Narada Muni, with the blessings of his mother Suniti. Dhruva Maharaj did tapasya for 6 months. He chanted Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. After 6 months, the Lord appeared in front of Dhruva. Actually, Dhruva Maharaj began this tapasya with a material ambition. What was that? He wanted a position which is superior to his great grandfather Brahma. That was his intention. He was not into pure devotional service, Uttama Bhakti, Anya Bhilashita, Sunyam, Jnana, Karma, Jnana, he's not like that. It's not that he did bhakti with a pure, selfless intention to satisfy Krishna. Ahituki apratihata ye atma suprasidati. No. He did bhakti just expecting something in return. What was that? A position superior to Brahma. And he did bhakti with a revengeful attitude towards his stepmother, Suruchi. He did bhakti with envious attitude towards his stepbrother Uttama. Envy is there, revenge is there, material ambition is there, greed is there, desire for power, position, prestige, privilege, all these are there. That was his motive. With this mentality, he performed bhakti. Can you just imagine? But one good thing in Dhruva Maharaj's case is he had this pure Vaishnavi mother, Suniti, to bless him. He also had a pure devotee guru, Narada Muni, who also blessed him and guided him. And he was also performing bhakti in a holy dham. And while doing bhakti, Dhruva Maharaj was not taking breaks and meditating on, oh, 1 month passed. When will I become greater than Brahma? 2 months passed. When will I be able to kill my brother? 3 months passed. Will I be able to take revenge on my stepmother? He was not thinking like that. He was just absorbed in his bhakti, in chanting the holy names of the Lord. So, it's a very hope giving episode in Srimad Bhagavatam that although somebody performs bhakti with a negative mentality, negative emotions, with revengeful attitude, with envy in the heart, with material ambition, greed, desire for power, money, position, prestige, still, even such people also can be completely be purified by bhakti with the blessings of great devotees like Narada Muni and Suniti. And especially by practicing the process sincerely. Dhruva Maharaj began the process with a negative intention, but during the practice, he was not meditating on the negative intentions, he was absorbed in the practice. So, absorbed practice of bhakti will purify our intentions also. Although our intentions may not be so pure in the beginning stages of bhakti, we experience many times, although we are practicing bhakti, there is some kind of anartha, some envy, some pride, some greed is still there in the heart, right? It's quite common. How many of you are completely freed from envy, pride, greed? They're there. It may not be this much, at least this much is there. Right? We may not be as greedy as the materialistic people outside. We may not be as proud as the materialistic people outside. At least every day we are chanting Tranadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna. Because of that, we may be inspired to cultivate some little humility. But still pride is there. A sense of superiority complex is there. Or sometimes inferiority complex is there. But if we practice bhakti sincerely follow the path given to us by the acharyas, just as Dhruva Maharaj sincerely followed the practice given by Narada Muni, will be purified. And after complete purification of all these malicious intentions, after complete purification of his heart by meditating on the Lord, after getting the darshan of Lord Vishnu appeared in front of Dhruva Maharaj. You know what Dhruva was asking? Very simple. या निर्वृतिस्तनुभृतां तव पादपद्म ध्यानात् भवज्जनकथा श्रवणेन वा स्यात् सा ब्रह्मणि स्वमहिमन्यपि नाथमाभूत् किं त्वन्तकाशिलुलितात् पततं विमानात् या निर्वृतिस्तनुभृतां तव पादपद्म ध्यानात्. Oh my dear Lord, if happiness has to be attained, it can be attained only in two ways. Number one, tava padapadma dhyanat, by meditating on your lotus feet. Number two, Bhavajjana Katha Sravanena Vasyat, by hearing Krishna Katha from your devotees. In comparison to the happiness of meditating on your lotus feet, in comparison to the happiness of hearing Krishna Katha from your devotees, even the happiness of Swargalok is useless. Even the happiness of merging in the Brahma Jyoti of the Lord, that is also useless. Brahmananda and Swargananda are useless in compared to Bhaktiananda. Bhaktiananda is better, superior. Huh? So Bhaktiananda is superior and our Dhruva Maharaj is aspiring for that Bhaktiananda. And what flavor of bhakti is giving him so much ananda, or he was thinking that this flavor of bhakti will give me the supreme ananda. What is that flavor of bhakti? He already said it here. We said two things, right? What was that? Tell- Meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord. Second, hearing Krishna Katha. So second point he elaborates in the next shloka. Bhaktim muhuhu pravahatam tvayi me prasango bhuyadanantamahataam amalashayanam येनाञ्जसोल्बणमुरुव्यसनं भवाब्धिं नैष्ये भवद्गुणकथामृतपानमत्तः भक्तिं मुहुः प्रवहतां त्वयि मे प्रसंगो. In the association of devotees, bhakti is flowing like a river. त्वयि मे प्रसंगो. In the association of your devotees, O Lord, the river of bhakti constantly flows. And bhuyad anantamahatam avalashayanam. All your devotees are pure hearted and their aspirations, their goals, their desires are uncontaminated with any desire for material enjoyment. So, in the company of such great devotees, there is a constant opportunity to hear about your glories. In short, Dhruva Maharaj said that I want an opportunity to hear Krishna Katha in the association of your devotees. That is his aspiration. After attaining the darshan of the Lord, he forgot his past desires. After the Lord appeared in front of him, Dhruva Maharaj did not say, "Oh Lord, can you please give me some position superior to Brahma? Can you please kill my brother? Can you please kill my stepmother? They trouble me so much." You understand? So he did not. He did not think like that. He did not ask like that. He just simply said that, "Oh Lord, I just want an opportunity to associate with devotees and hear Krishna Katha in that association. In comparison to this boon, all other boons are useless." And as few chapters pass, we also see in the case of Prithu Maharaj. You know Prithu Maharaj, right? He conducted sacrifices, and Indra came and stole the sacrificial horse of Prithu Maharaj. And after that, Indra, then Prithu Maharaj was asked by Brahma to stop the sacrifice. You know the whole story. I'll not get into the details. So finally, after Prithu Maharaj stopped his 100th sacrifice, Lord Vishnu appeared in front of him and said, "My dear Prithu, please forgive Indra. He has done a mistake. He is repenting for that mistake, and you need to forgive." Prithu Maharaj said, "Of course, my dear Lord, I have already forgiven." So no grudges, no negativity within the heart. He forgave. Then after that, Prithu Maharaj started offering his prayers. You know what he said? Varan vibho tadvaradeshvarat buddha katham vrinite guna vikriyatmanam. My dear Lord, you are very famous as the bestower of all benedictions. The Lord is the best bestower of all benedictions. Therefore, he is called Varadeshwara or Varesha or Varadarshabha or Varadaraj. Vara means boon. Varada means one who gives boons. Varan vibhotad Varadeshwarat Buddha katham vrinite guna vikriyatmana. The personality who can give all kinds of boons is standing right in front of you. So what boons can you ask? The boon of great wealth, the boon of great followers, the boon of great physical strength, intellectual strength, the boon of being Brahma. What will you ask for when the Lord is standing in front of you? He said, "I will not ask for any such petty benedictions of this material world. I don't want Svargaloka Ananda. I don't want liberation. I don't want all of those things. Especially moksha, I don't want liberation at all." He said, "Nakamaye nath tadapyaham kvachin nayatrayushma charanambujasava."
Mahattamantar Hridayan Mukhachuto Vidhatsva Karnayutamesha Mevaraha. He said, Na kamaye natha tadapyaham kvachin. My dear Lord, I will never desire for liberation. Why? Na yatra yushma charanambujasavaha. In that situation of liberation from this material existence where you absorb or where you enter into this effulgence of the Lord, Brahma Jyoti, there is no opportunity to serve you. Somebody will enter Brahma Jyoti, he will stand there. No activity, no form, no name, no interaction, no relationship, nothing. Just a state of neutrality where you don't experience any pain. But there is no experience of great pleasure also. There is something called Brahmananda. Hmm. But, but that Ananda is not so exciting. Hmm. It's very bland, non-spicy. We don't want non-spicy Ananda. Uh, it's like you eat plain rice. No dal, no sabji, no salt, no sambar, nothing. Just plain rice. One full meal. Belly may be full, but no satisfaction. Right? So Brahmananda is lesser than that. Lesser than eating plain rice. Not pulao rice or fried rice or biryani or ghee rice, jeera rice, along with some sabji or 10 other sabjis. No, not like that. Bland, plain rice with no salt. That's better than Brahmananda. Right? Therefore, I don't want that Ananda. At least I compared it with some plain rice. But you know what? Prithumara says that Brahmananda is equal to Narakalok. At least in Narakalok there is some activity. That is like hellish happiness for me. I don't want that. Then what do you want? Mahattamantar Hridayan Mukhachito Bhavatpadambhoja Sudha Kadanila. Mahattamantar Hridayan Mukhachito. My dear Lord, just give me at least 1 million years to be able to hear the Krishna Katha spoken by your devotees. He's not competing with Indra. Indra is right next to him when he's offering this prayer. You have given him 1000 eyes. Give me 1000 years. No? That's not the comparison there. His enthusiasm to hear Krishna Katha is so much that he desires millions of years. The enthusiasm of a devotee to chant Krishna's names is so much that he desires millions of tongues. Tunde Tandaviniratim Vitanute Tundavali Labdhaye Karnakrodakadambini Ghatayate Karnarbhute Bhyaspruham Cheta Prangana Sangini Vijayate Sarvendriyanam Kritim No Jane Janita Kiyadbhiramrtai Krishneti Varnadvayi Tunde Tandavini Ratim Vitanute Tundavali Labdhaye. When the holy name of Krishna is dancing on the tongue of a devotee, the devotee desires millions of tongues. When the sound vibration of Krishna is entering the ear holes of a devotee, the devotee desires millions of years. No jane janita ki yadbhiramrtaihi krishneti varanadvayi. I don't understand what great sweetness or nectar is embodied within these two syllables Krishna, Krishna. In similar lines, this sloka that I quoted now is from Rupa Goswami. In similar lines, Prithu Maharaj says that please give me millions of years to hear Krishna Katha. Why you want to hear Krishna Katha? I am standing right in front of you. I can give you liberation. I can take you to Vaikuntha with me. But you are saying I want to associate with your devotees and hear Krishna Katha in the association of your devotees. What is the logic behind this kind of boon that you are asking me? Then our Prithu Maharaj clarifies in the next sloka. स उत्तम श्लोक महन्मुखच्युतो भवत्पदां भोज सुधान कणानिलः. Whenever devotees glorify you, the saffron dust particles at your lotus feet emanate from their mouths, because they always carry the Lord's lotus feet within their hearts. The dust from your lotus feet will emanate from their mouths. And when that sound vibration coming from the mouths of pure devotees enter our ear holes, you know what does it do? Smritim punar vismrita tattva vartmanam puyoginam no vitaratya lamvaraihi smritim punar. All the conditioned souls in this material world are moving around here like ghosts, forgetting their identities. Smritim punar. When you hear Krishna Katha from devotees, that hearing will revive your remembrance of your lost or forgotten connection with Krishna. So people in this world are wandering by forgetting their real identities as servants of Krishna. When we hear Krishna Katha from devotees, we are reminded of our original identities as servants of Krishna. We will remember our lost connection with Krishna. So, for us to remember how we are connected to the Lord, we need to hear from devotees. So, that is the benediction that Prithu Maharaj wanted. Dhruva Maharaj wanted the same benediction, to hear Krishna Katha in the association of devotees. Prithu Maharaj asked for the same boon, to hear Krishna Katha in the association of devotees. I want millions of years. When we move ahead in the fourth canto, Prachetas are asking this boon. After chanting Rudra Gita for 10,000 years under waters, when the Lord appeared on the back of Garuda in front of the Prachetas, all the Prachetas said, "My dear Lord, please give us this boon." What is that? Yavatte maya sprishtha bhramama iha karmabhi tavat bhavat prasanganam sangasyanno bhave bhave. Yavatte maya sprishta. Because of the influence of your maya, bhramama iha karmabhi. We do so many karmas and we wander in this material existence. Because of maya, we do karma. And because of karma, we pass through this cycle of birth and death. We go from one species to another species, one planet to another planet. That's how people are living in this world. Brahmama iha karma bhi. Tavat bhavat prasanganam sangasyanno bhave bhave. These prachetas are saying that, oh Lord, if at all we have to go from one species to another species because of our karma, we don't mind. Basically, we are not asking you for liberation from the cycle of birth and death. We are asking you one thing. Tavat bhavat prasanganam, whichever species we may enter, whichever body we may enter, whichever planet we may enter, may we get the association of your devotees. We want your Sangha. Sangasyanno bhavet bhavet. We don't want liberation, we want Vaishnava Sangha. We want Sadhu Sangha. Why you want Sadhu Sangha? I am there. You are not even asking me to take you to Vaikuntha, but you are asking me to give you Sadhu Sangha. Are you intelligent? Why? What's the logic behind this? The Lord asks. Then Prachetas clarify. Yatra Narayana Sakshat Bhagavan Yasinam Gatihi Samstuyate Satkathasu. Wherever devotees are there, they sit together and discuss about Lord Narayana's pastimes. They sing the glories of the Lord constantly. Because there is constant Krishna Katha in the association of devotees, we are aspiring for the company of devotees. And when devotees are discussing Krishna Katha, they are glorifying Him, the Lord will come and sit there. Now you may see there are 50 chairs or 60 chairs here. In one of these chairs, Krishna is also sitting. Right? You may have multiple logins in a Zoom call. One login is Krishna's login. One login is Yamaraj's login. So they say that whenever devotees are discussing Krishna Katha, the Lord also personally sits there. Yatra gayanti mad bhakta tatra tisthami narada. Wherever my devotees sing my glories, tatra tisthami narada, I will go and sit there. This is what the Lord spoke to Narada Muni once. So remembering that, Pracheta spoke to the Lord now. Please give the association of your devotees. Please give us the association of your devotees. In that association, we'll happily hear about you. And hearing about you means being in touch with you. So, to be able to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, discuss Srimad Bhagavatam amongst like-minded devotees is not an ordinary privilege. When we take it for granted, that opportunities will be taken away from us. When we don't value it, then we lose our value. So that is the power of or the significance or importance of hearing Krishna Katha, the association of devotees. So let us discuss some pastimes of Krishna or qualities of Krishna with that little introduction on the importance of gathering together to discuss about Krishna. Let's discuss some Krishna Katha. Any questions or comments so far? Yes, Mataji.
On one hand, the devotees do desire ultimately to go back and back to God. That's
Yes.
what we have to be the purpose of this thing. Of course, on one side we say it's developing Krishna brain. That is one goal of it. At the same time, we say we have to go back and back to God because Prabhupada, like he said, this place is like a toilet, we have to get out of it and all. Then on the other hand, we say even when Lord is there, he can take the person back to when still the person doesn't want to go but wants the. So isn't it kind of a virodhabhas or is it
Contradiction.
stand?
Yes. Ultimately, the aspiration of a devotee is to love Krishna selflessly, serve Krishna selflessly. As far as going back to Godhead is concerned, it's not changing our geographical location from material world to spiritual world. Going back to Godhead is not necessarily entering into the spiritual world. Not necessarily. In spirit, going back to Godhead means performing devotional service wherever you are. Going back to Godhead means back from this Maya. You may be in the material world, but not being in touch with Maya, but you have turned your back to Maya and you have turned your face towards Krishna, back to Godhead. Not showing back to Godhead, but coming back to Godhead. And that is basically performing devotional service. So, of course, back to Godhead also means going to the spiritual world, no doubt about it. But in spirit, back to Godhead basically means give up your material endeavors, give up your absorption in this material world, and turn your face towards Krishna. Come back to the lotus feet of Krishna. You are where you are supposed to be. And that service to Krishna can be done in the spiritual world or in the material world, according to Krishna's expectation. And there is nothing wrong in aspiring to go to the spiritual world, Krishna Loka, Goloka, Vaikuntha. However, if the Lord expects a devotee to render a specific service while sitting in the material world, devotee should be ready to do so. Therefore, Krishna Seva and Krishna Prema are the aspirations. And the geographical location, where exactly do we do that? It's a detail, important detail, of course, but it's a detail which we leave it to Krishna. Let Krishna decide. Narayana para sarve nakutasya bibhyati swarga pavarga narakeshu apitulyartha darshinah. Narayana para sarve nakutasya bibhyati. Narayana para means one who is completely dedicated to Lord Narayana will not become fearful of anything or anyone or any place. Swarga, apavarga, narakeshu. Swarga is heaven, apavarga means liberation or going to the supreme spiritual abode, or third is naraka. Api tulyartha darshan, all are same for a devotee. So where a devotee stays doesn't matter. But what a devotee does, wherever he is or wherever she is, that matters. to Krishna, and that matters to the devotee also. Lord Krishna completed his earthly pastimes and he was about to go to the spiritual world. Then Uddhava came and said, please take me also with you, going back to Godhead. But our Krishna said, no, we cannot come to spiritual world now. Why? You have a service here. What is that service? Give my teachings to the sages of Badarika Ashram. That's your service. Finish that service and after that you can come. Not now. So Uddhava had to stay back. If the Lord gives certain service to a devotee, then devotee does that service while sitting in the material world. Yeah. Yes. But wherever a devotee is, the focus is on Krishna Seva, Krishna Katha. You know that story of Anantacharya? How many of you know the story of Anantacharya? Anantacharya was a disciple of Ramanujacharya. Ramanujacharya told Anantacharya, actually Ramanujacharya announced in front of his disciples that we want someone to go to Balaji temple on Tirumala hill and grow flowers. You know this? Then Anantacharya volunteered. In those days, so many facilities were not there. It's like a forest. Forest on top of the hill. Anantacharya volunteered. He went along with his wife. And he grew nice garden. And also he made so many disciples. Wonderfully devotional service is going on to Balaji. But interestingly, something else happened. A snake once came and bit Anantacharya. So all the disciples of Anantacharya became worried. As he was doing his flower seva, plucking some flowers or doing some other service, immediately all the disciples came and said, oh, Gurudev, Anantacharya, please take some medicine. This venom of this snake and is entering your body. Please do something. He'll say, I am very busy with my service. I have no time to take any medicine and all. You just go from here. So the disciples tried to convince their spiritual master, but the spiritual master is not agreeing to take any medicine. So all the disciples went and spoke to the Lord. They offered prayers to Balaji. Balaji, please do something. Your dear devotee is not even taking medicine, although a snake has bitten him. Then Balaji called Anantacharya. The deity started speaking. Anantacharya said, my dear Lord, I am very busy with your service. Why did you call me? The Lord said, you have to take a medicine now. What medicine? A snake bit you. There is poison in your body. You have to take a medicine. Then Anantacharya said, my dear Lord, which poison are you talking about? There is already so much poison in my body in the form of lust, envy, pride, greed, anger. Are you talking about that poison? If that poison is greater than or stronger than the poison injected by the snake, I will not die. And if the snake's poison is stronger than the poison of anarthas within me, then I will die. If I die, I will take bath in Virajanadi, which is at the border of the spiritual world and material world, and I will come to Vaikuntha and serve you. And if I don't die, I will take birth in Swami Pushkarini and come and serve you in this deity form. So in either case, my job profile will not change. My service to you will continue. Why should I take medicine? Don't disturb me. I have my service. Somehow by the Lord's blessings, nothing happened to Anantacharya. So this is how a devotee is completely indifferent to where he stays. Wherever there is an opportunity to serve the Lord and express one's love, a devotee stays there. So as we are progressing in our life or passing our life towards the ultimate end of death, we need to do some introspection. We need to do some self-evaluation. Am I sufficiently prepared for death? Did I develop that ability to remember Krishna in those last moments that will ensure my reaching Krishna or any Krishna conscious destination? Or am I still thinking of so many other lingering, unfulfilled material desires? Or am I uh, am I aspiring for some material things? Or am I still holding all kinds of grudges or negativity or envy or hatred towards other people around me? So, what is my meditation as my age is progressing? As I'm coming closer to death, what exactly is my meditation? We need to introspect on it. Younger devotees, small children, they may not be able to do. Recently, in our Bhakti Vaibhav classes, His Holiness Sachinandan Swami Maharaj raised this topic. Are we sufficiently prepared for death? What will happen if I don't remember Krishna at the time of death and remember something else? Of course, devotee doesn't have to worry about that also. As long as devotee is absorbed in Hari Katha, Hari Seva, Hari Puja, naturally, a devotee doesn't have to even consider where he takes birth, what kind of destination he will get. Krishna will take care. But if our sadhana is not sufficiently strong, if our absorption in Krishna is not strong enough, or if our intentions or motivations in bhakti are not pure enough, then the next destination may not be that pleasant. Because bhakti also can be performed in multiple flavors. There is pure bhakti, ananya bhakti, where you aspire to serve Krishna selflessly. Although you are not yet up to the mark, your intention is to serve. Intention is to serve Krishna selflessly. But there are some cases where the devotional service, one's bhakti may be tinged with so many mixtures. There is karma mishra bhakti, jnana mishra bhakti, yoga mishra bhakti, and there is also bhakti mishra karma, bhakti mishra jnana, bhakti mishra yoga. There is tamasic bhakti, rajasic bhakti, sattvic bhakti. There is artha bhakti, artharthi bhakti, jignasi bhakti, gnani bhakti. So many substandard practices of bhakti. For example, tamasic bhakti. Bhakti can never be tamasic. Bhakti is nirguna, it's beyond modes. But what is tamasic bhakti? That bhakti of a devotee who renders it with tamasic tendencies. What are tamasic tendencies? If I perform bhakti with some hatred towards another devotee, to take revenge on another devotee, then my bhakti is tamasic bhakti. Rajasic bhakti. If I perform bhakti with an intention to gain so much of power, prestige, wealth, name, fame, etc., then mine is Rajasic bhakti. Sattvic bhakti. If I perform bhakti with a desire for liberation, knowledge, happiness, freedom from anxieties, then I am Sattvic bhakta. Do I have all these tendencies in my bhakti? Then I am not doing pure devotional service. Then karma mishra bhakti. There is performance of bhakti, but there is karmic tendencies. Jnana mishra bhakti. You have some devotion, but lot of unnecessary speculative analysis, too much of jnana, too much of philosophical analysis. There is yoga mishra bhakti. Yoga means Ashtanga yoga, where people perform 8 kinds of practices to get 8 kinds of siddhis, 8 kinds of perfections, yogic siddhis. Am I aspiring for perfection in things or perfection in bhakti? So sometimes our bhakti can be tinged with all these flavors, Rajogun, Tamogun, Sattvagun flavor, or Karma, Jnana, Yoga flavor. There is karma involved in bhakti, there is jnana involved in bhakti, there is yoga or whatever, meditation involved in bhakti, dhyana involved in bhakti, but that should not overpower bhakti. What is real bhakti? Madguna shruti matrena mai sarvaguhashaye manogatira vichhinna yatha gangam hasombudav. Madguna shruti matrena. Just by hearing the qualities of Lord Hari, A devotee's heart should just run towards Krishna. If somebody speaks little bit about Krishna, oh, Krishna delivered Putana, your mind should just absorb in a meditation on Krishna. When someone says, Krishna plays flute so nicely and chantingly, as your mind should get absorbed in the thought of Krishna playing flute. It's in a very exalted stage. But ultimately, that's our aspiration. Mad guna sruti matrena mahi sarva bhashaye manogatar vichhinna yatha gangamba sambhudav. Our manogati, the course of our mind, should unobstructedly reach Krishna as soon as we hear little bit about Krishna. Little Uddipana is sufficient to just completely run towards Krishna. That is pure bhakti. So we need to do some introspection, self-introspection time to time. Am I sufficiently getting rid of my karmic tendencies or gnani tendencies, material desires, grudges towards other people, envy, pride, greed? Am I taking too much of false pride in my material accomplishments or even devotional accomplishments? Am I sincerely appreciative of another devotee's prosperity in bhakti? Or am I feeling uncomfortable? Why they are chanting so nicely? Why they are getting more opportunities to interact with great devotees? Why they are getting opportunities to do deity worship? Why they are more popular than me? Why they are given so much of preference than me? Uh, Without Krishna's sanction, will they get it or not? Will they get it? Why am I feeling uncomfortable when Krishna sanctioned it? Are we, simple point, are we genuinely appreciating and rejoicing the success of another devotee, or are we feeling uncomfortable? We need to introspect. So that is that kind of self-evaluation is very much required time to time in our bhakti. So how do we not get distracted or deviated by these materialistic thoughts or other kinds of distractions like envy, pride, greed, all this stuff, material desires? We need to constantly hear. Constant hearing the Shastra. All they have heard, you should again hear. It is only through Shravanam that we keep ourselves in proper consciousness. It is only through Shravanam. Of course, Kirtanam is also involved. It is only through Shravana Kirtana we will be able to do Smaran of Krishna. We'll get rid of all kinds of anarthas. Because when you are hearing, anarthas are going away. What is the proof? Nashtaprayeshva bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavatyuttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishthiki. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu. All the abhadras and anarthas within our hearts are completely eradicated when we hear Bhagavatam regularly. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Then Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Initial stages of bhakti are Anishtita Bhakti. Anishtita means unsteady practice of bhakti. How many of you feel that your practice of bhakti is unsteady? I feel. To make our unsteady practice of bhakti steady, we should do Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya will ensure that bhakti will become Naishtiki. Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So there is steady practice of bhakti, not unsteady practice of bhakti. That happens by regularly hearing Krishna Katha. So what is happening when we are hearing Krishna Katha regularly? Pravishtaha karna randhrena svanam bhavasaroruham dhunoti shamalam Krishnaha salilasya yatha sharat. Pravishtaha karna randhrena. When the sound vibration of Bhagavatam enters our ear holes, pravishtaha karna randhrena, through the sound vibration, Krishna will enter into our homes. This heart is our home. This ear is the door. Through this door, Krishna will enter into the home and he will sit there and he will clean the heart. He will clean it. Svanam bhavasaroruham dhunoti shamalam Krishna. Dhunoti means he will completely clean it. Don't think that you are engaging Krishna in cleaning services. You have to clean his temple. If you clean his temple, he will clean your heart. So the Lord wouldn't mind if you engage him in cleaning your heart. He's used to it. As Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he thoroughly cleansed Gundicha temple. Our heart is also temple. Because Paramatma is sitting there, right? So the Lord wouldn't mind cleaning our heart from all the anarthas of envy, pride, greed, etc. But first we need to open the door for the Lord to enter and do the cleaning business. If you are closing our ears, how will the Lord enter the hearts? How will the Lord enter our home and clean? On our own, we cannot clean. Either you clean or he will clean. Do you have the ability to clean? On your own, without practicing bhakti, without taking shelter of Krishna, without inviting Krishna into your ears by hearing Krishna Katha, do you have the ability to individually, independently clean your heart from lust, envy, pride, greed, etc.? No. Better let him do the job. We can't do anyways. We cannot clean our lust or envy or pride. Let Krishna clean. But for Krishna to clean that heart, you should allow Krishna to enter your heart. And the way to allow Krishna to enter your heart is opening the ears. Here is the door to this home. Here is the door. Pravishtaha karnarandhrena svanam bhava sarurham. The Lord will enter the ears and enter your heart and clean your heart from all the anarthas. Not only that, cleaning the heart from all this malice, bad qualities is one byproduct. That's not the main product. The main product is he will give you Krishna prema. He will make you a lover of Krishna. That's the main product. That's the ultimate product. What is the proof? Yasyam vaisruyamanayam Krishne paramapurushe bhaktirutpadyate pumsaha shokam moha bhayapaha. Yasyam vaisruyamanayam. When you hear Krishna Katha, Krishne paramapurushe bhaktirutpadyate. A feeling of bhakti unto Paramapurusha Krishna will be invoked. That bhakti is prema. If at all you want to develop love for Krishna, devotion towards Krishna, you have to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. So, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam regularly will make Krishna enter our hearts and our anarthas will be eradicated and love for Krishna will be developed. Process is very simple. In simple Sanskrit shlokas, small shlokas, Anushtup Chanda shlokas, Bhagavatam tells us how we can purify ourselves, how we can elevate ourselves from our contaminated states very effortlessly, very authentically, very emphatically, repeatedly. Just here. Now, let's discuss an example. We have Rukmani Devi. So, Rukmani Devi was sitting in Kundinapur, Vidarbha city. She is the daughter of Bhishmaka. She never saw Krishna. But some sages and Brahmanas like Narada Muni used to come to their palace. When they came there, they would speak few stories and few qualities of Krishna, and Rukmani heard from them. Since childhood, Rukmani has been hearing about Krishna from all these Brahmanas and guests, and Rukmani Devi fell in love with Krishna. She fell in love with Krishna so much so that when her brother Rukmi was forcefully getting her married to Shishupal, she very boldly, although she is a teenage girl princess, she very boldly wrote a love letter and gave it to Brahmana. That must be the original love letter a girl has ever given to a boy, probably. So send that letter to Krishna in Dwaraka, and Krishna read it and came and kidnapped her. See the obsession that she had. See the infatuation she had. That's a very positive and spiritual infatuation, spiritual obsession. That you are so stubborn that Either, she wrote in the letter, either I will marry you or give up my life. Not that she's threatening him, suicide. If you don't agree to me, I will commit suicide. Sometimes this also keeps happening in this material world, perverted reflection. But she's only expressing her desperateness. Relationship with Krishna is more valuable and more important for me than my own life. You can see the dedication there. This is nothing material. Common people may do all that out of material emotions or some kind of material blackmailing to extract something else from them. But generally, but in this case, Rukmani Devi, when she said, I can even give up my life or I can wait for 100 lifetimes. If at all it's required for me to wait for 100 lifetimes to be accepted by you, I will wait. But I will not accept this Shishupala or anyone else. Anyatha sharanam nasti, tvameva sharanam mama. I don't need anyone else. All I need is you. So this is the degree of dedication that comes by hearing Krishna Katha. She never saw Krishna, by the way. By the time she wrote this desperate love letter, she never saw Krishna. She was only hearing about Krishna. We also never saw Krishna. We saw Krishna's deity form, definitely. We saw Krishna's holy name. All of them are not different from Krishna, we understand that. But Krishna in his original self, same form in the spiritual world, the way Vrajavasis saw him, the way Pandavas saw him, we have not seen. We have not met. We never had a conversation with Krishna. We never had a WhatsApp chat with Krishna. But we are hearing about Krishna. Without even seeing Krishna, just by hearing about Krishna, you can fall in love with Krishna so much so that everything else in the entire cosmic manifestation makes no relevance to you in front of Krishna, in front of that relationship. To that degree, hearing can overwhelm you. That's the power of hearing. But if you hear once in a year, once in 2 years, what possibility is there for us to love Krishna, develop love for Krishna? Therefore, hearing Krishna Katha must be a daily job. In fact, constant activity. Parikshit Maharaj was hearing about Krishna at the end of his life. So, when we regularly, we may think, I know this pastime. Arey, wapas putana pastime aaya. I can give classes on that. I memorized all the shlokas on that. We may think like that, but we don't know. After hearing Putana's pastime 100 times, also, if you hear one more time, that pastime will illuminate your heart or inspire you in a very unique way that did not happen in the last 100 times. How many times you heard the same pastime and found a totally new, different angle to it, different insight in it, different lesson in it, and different kind of inspiration in it? How many times you had goosebumps hearing that one particular point? I heard this so many times, but I never thought from this angle. That's amazing. You have seen a prism, you keep it in sun and then keep rotating like this. So many colors will just emanate from it. Similarly, every single pastime of Krishna, every single sloka of Srimad Bhagavatam is like a prism, is like a gem. When you keep rotating it like this, like this, like this, like this, unlimited perspectives and insights will come out of it when we have that eagerness to hear. Boredom and exhaustion are simply products of lack of enthusiasm to hear. When there is eagerness to hear Krishna Katha, then despite hearing a pastime 100 times or 1,000 times, you will find some fresh, new excitement in hearing the same thing. Even common people, materialistic people outside, they are hearing the same materialistic song 100 times or 200 times in repeat mode. They heard 5 minute song. The lyrics are mostly meaningless. Somehow some beats are there, some melodies are there, some high points and low points are there. Somehow they became excited with it, They're hearing that same 5-minute song or 4-minute song in repeat mode 100 times. They don't get bored. And after 10 years, they'll hear the same song. Nostalgia effect. Wow, amazing. I went into my past memories. Thank you so much. Somebody will post that same stuff in Instagram. Thank you for reminding me of the olden days. 90s songs are the best songs. 90s kids are the most fortunate kids. Uh, all the social media is filled with all this stuff. Uh, so if a materialistic song written by a materialistic person, composed, music composed by a materialistic person, for a purely materialistic purpose, can captivate the mind of a person so much and obsess him or infatuate him, how much Krishna Katha can do? We have not yet tapped the potential of Krishna Katha. How can we tap that potential? When we have eagerness, when we have enthusiasm. You may have 10 wonderfully made items in your menu, but if you don't have hunger, you can't taste them. Even if you're tasting them, you cannot digest them. If there is no hunger, you cannot digest the food. Similarly, if you don't have eagerness to hear Krishna Katha, you cannot realize the principles taught by Krishna Katha. You cannot digest that Krishna Katha. Their hunger is required to digest food. Here, eagerness is required to digest Bhagavatam. Rukmani Devi is one example. Similarly, there are some wonderful, fortunate, chaste ladies in Vrindavan, outskirts of Vrindavan, Brahmana Patnis. So once Krishna had sent his friends, Gopa boys, to some Brahmanas to beg for some food. They did not give. They did not say yes, they did not say no. They were indifferent, completely neutral. They didn't even look at the direction. We are absorbed in our egg sacrifices, we will not even look at you. Then they became disappointed and they came back to Krishna. Krishna said, go to their wives, they will give you. So all these boys went to the wives of the Brahmanas. As soon as these ladies heard that Krishna is nearby and is hungry, he needs some food, they immediately picked up all kinds of delicious food items at their homes and they ran towards Krishna into the forest, although their husbands and family members were stopping them. And these people also never saw Krishna. They never saw Krishna before. This is the first time they are seeing Krishna. But how did they develop so much of eagerness to meet Krishna, although they never saw him? They heard about Krishna, hearing. From where? Not from some Brahmanas or Kathakars, from some vegetable sellers, some visitors to their village. They are Brahmanas, right? They're in some very sophisticated agraharas, means some special quarters are there, localities are there given to Brahmanas. So uh, they were hearing Krishna's pastimes, how Krishna lifted how Krishna subdued Kaliya, how Krishna killed Putana, how Krishna is playing his flute. So they heard all these kinds of simple pastimes, nice pastimes from some vegetable sellers. Just by hearing that, they fell in love with Krishna. So much so that they gave up everything and then came. One more example you want? The Mathura Vasis. Whatever Krishna was doing in Vrindavan, that news is going to Mathura. Not on WhatsApp, no website updates, no instant Facebook updates. Nobody was even clicking photos and sharing also. Just through hearing, Sravanam. Somebody is going from here to there or coming from there to here. Some little bit of news, little distorted news is going from Vrindavan to Mathura. Mathura people also came to know Krishna lifted Govardhan mountain. Mathura people came to know that Krishna subdued Arishtasur demon, this demon, that demon. Sometimes the news is distorted. Krishna killed Dhenukasur, Krishna killed Pralambasur. That news also goes there. Although Balramji killed them. So like that, some news, mostly authentic, little bit of change. So it went to Mathura Vasis. And when Krishna came to Mathura for the first time on Kamsa's special invitation brought by Akrura, Then all the Mathuravasis, entire city, abandoned all their activities and came out of their homes, sat on their balconies, or came on the streets to see Krishna. Apparently, Krishna was touring Mathura city, taking darshan of Mathura city, but entire Mathura city was taking Krishna's darshan. How did this happen? How did they become so curious and eager? And it's not like general ideal curiosity that one may have, oh, some celebrities passing by here, oh, we want to see. People become curious when some celebrity comes on the streets. But it's not like that simple curiosity. And you just see him 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then gone. You're in your own world. In that 5 minutes, 10 minutes also, you may just check your phones. But it was not like that for them, the the Mathuravasis. They fell in love with Krishna by hearing about Krishna. Their love for Krishna increased now by seeing him directly, face to face. So this is what hearing Krishna Katha, hearing Bhagavatam can do to us. When we hear Srimad Bhagavatam from bona fide sources, then naturally we fall in love with Krishna. And there are unlimited such examples who perfected their lives by hearing Krishna Katha. And this is what is happening constantly in Vrindavan, in Vaikuntha. Vaimanika salalanascharitaani shashwat गायन्ति यत्र शमलक्षपणानि भर्तुः अन्तर्जलेन विकसन् मधुमाधवीनां गन्धेन खण्डितधियोऽप्यनिलं क्षिपन्तः वैमानिका सललनाः. All the Vaikuntavasis have their own private golden airplanes without any air hostesses or pilots. These airplanes move at the will of these people. They don't have congested seats. They don't have to put seat belt at all. These people will not come and say, please close the tray table. Please open the window sheets. They don't, no announcement like that. No windows only. Sometimes it's like you're working on something on laptop, suddenly, hey, you have to close the tray table. Then I have to interrupt. I was working on Subodhini. I was coming in flight in the afternoon. I was working on Subodhini, and then suddenly they said, oh, you should shut down. Okay, fine, I'll shut down. Right? So that interruption, no interruptions. So they were constantly glorifying Krishna. When you have private airplane that moves at your will and the consort is right next to them, the natural tendency of a person when they get some privacy in a very wonderful ambience is enjoyment, personal enjoyment. But they are not doing that. Gayanti yatra shapalakshapanani bhartuhu. Gayanti. They're singing the glories of Lord Hari. यत्सङ्कुलं हरिपदानतिमात्रदृष्टैर् वैढूर्यमारकत हेममयैर्विमानैः येषां बृहत्कटितटा स्मितशोभिमुख्य कृष्णात्मनं नरज आदधुर्स्मयाद्यैः. Although they are personally there with their consorts, still these people are absolutely focused on Krishnatmanam, focused on Krishna's glories, and they are not at all developing any desires for passionate enjoyment. So, glorifying Krishna and hearing the glories of Krishna is a constant activity in Vaikuntha. It's a constant activity in Vrindavan. It's a constant activity in every single spiritual community, a mature community. So that community, that spiritual community that prioritizes the process of Sravanam and Kirtanam flourishes spiritually like anything. Right? If the center of a community is Krishna Katha, Krishna Sravanam, then the community is prosperous spiritually. Hearts are satisfied completely. Satisfied communities are those who keep Krishna in the center of their lives. Service is great, amazing. But that inspiration to do that service and the right kind of consciousness to render that service comes by hearing Krishna Katha. Otherwise, service can become an activity that's done on the level of senses. But if you want that activity to come to the level of heart, a loving activity, a spiritual activity, meant for the pleasure of Krishna, we need to hear Krishna Katha. व्यामोह प्रशमौषधं मुनिमनोवृत्तिप्रवृत्त्यौषधं दैत्येन्द्रार्तिकरौषधं त्रिभुवने सञ्जीवनैकौषधम् भक्तात्यन्तहितौषधं भवभय प्रध्वंसनैकौषधं श्रेयः प्राप्तिकरौषधं पिबमन श्रीकृष्णदिव्यौषधम् व्यामोह प्रशमौषधम. This aushadha, Krishna Katha acts like aushadha. Aushadha means medicine. Vyamoha prashamaushadham. This medicine of Krishna Katha can completely destroy all our illusions. First, Vyamoha prashamaushadham. Munimano vritti pravrityaushadham. This Krishna Katha, the medicine of Krishna Katha, can completely captivate the minds of even thoughtful sages with the desire only to serve Krishna and nothing else. Munimanovritti pravrityaushadham. Third, Daityendrartika raushadham. Daitya means demons. Daityendra means kings of demons. Who are those demons? Lust, envy, pride, greed, anger in the hearts. Daityendra raushadham. Artikara means when you hear Krishna Katha, when the medicine of Krishna Katha goes into your ear holes, the demons of anarthas, lust, envy, pride, greed will disappear from there. In our childhood, there used to be one ad, Pepsodent toothpaste ad, right? So there are some lot of germs between the teeth. As soon as you put that Pepsodent paste and Pepsodent toothbrush and then put there, all this will just go away, run away. Right? And the small 2D animations are there, they're just running away like this. And also, there is Vicks ad in those days. So when you put this triangle shaped Vicks inside and the kitch, they say kitch. So that the kitch will go away. And they get scared. Oh, they just run away. Similarly, when the medicine of Krishna Katha enters our ear holes, all the demons of lust, envy, pride, greed, they will just run away. Daityendrartika raushadham tribhuvane sanjeevanaikaushadham. Fourth point. This Krishna Katha will act as Sanjeevani. Sanjeevani means uh, that which induces life. Sanjeevanaikaushadham. Bhaktatyantahitaushadham. This aushadha, this medicine of Krishna Katha can cause the greatest welfare to devotees. Bhaktatyantahitaushadham bhavabhaya pradhamsanaikaushadham. Sixth effect. Bhavabhaya means the external fears. Pradhamsana. Eka aushadham. This one medicine of Krishna Katha can completely destroy all your fears. Bhagavatam also says the same thing. Shoka moha bhayapaha. Fears of material existence are gone. The more you hear about Krishna, the more you hear about Krishna's qualities, his Bhaktavatsalya quality, his capability, the more you feel a sense of security, reassurance. First, you understand how great Krishna is. Second, you understand how much he loves you. Third, you feel a sense of security. He is there with me. He is so powerful. He is so capable. Why should I fear anything? Krishna is there to protect me always. And that's the fearlessness and a sense of security, reassurance that Prahlad Maharaj was experiencing. Constantly experiencing. Hiranyakashipu is there like this. All the devatas are like trembling seeing Hiranyakashipu, and this 5-year-old boy says that the Lord, my Lord, is your Lord also. To make such a statement in front of Hiranyakashipu requires so much of fearlessness. Hiranyakashipu asked him, on whose strength are you appearing so fearless? Then Prahlad Maharaj said, the source of my strength is the source of your strength also. Somebody asked Prabhupada, in some Western countries, some reporter. So, Krishna is your God? Prabhupada said, Krishna is your God also. So much conviction. So this is the fearlessness caused by hearing Krishna Katha. The more you hear about Krishna, the more you fall in love with him, the more you feel a sense of security, pleasure, a sense of attachment, love for Krishna, and fearlessness. दैत्येन्द्रार्तिकरौषधं त्रिभुवने सञ्जीवनैकौषधं भक्तात्यन्तहितौषधं भवभयप्रध्वंसनैकौषधं श्रेयः प्राप्तिकरौषधं पिब मन श्रीकृष्णदिव्यौषधं श्रेयः प्राप्तिकरौषधं. Seventh effect. This medicine of Krishna Katha can give you the greatest shreyas, auspiciousness. Pibamana, please drink, or rascal mind. Please drink this medicine of Krishna Katha. Sri Krishna Divyaushadham. This is transcendental medicine. Generally, medicine means you have to take only one tablet in a day or 3 tablets in a day, one cup of syrup only. Just because the cough syrup is very sweet, you can't just fill 1 liter in a day. It will have side effects. But Krishna Katha, you find it sweet, you drink 1 liter. You drink 10 liters. No indigestion, no side effect. No problem. Nobody will say, don't hear more, don't chant more. Nobody will say like that. Don't eat more, they will say. Even if it is Krishna Prasadam, eat limited. But if it is Krishna Katha, drink unlimited. Right? No limit. Take you in feast they serve, right? Item limited. Yeah? 1 gulab jamun only. Right? All limits are there for Krishna Prasadam and other things. But Krishna Katha, no limit. Krishna Nam, no limit. Chant as much as you can, hear as much as you can. Grathra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions or comments? Aushadha.
Of Krishna Katha. Is there a continuous flow of some verses?
One shloka only. 7 points I said, na? Aushadham. I don't know how many points I spoke about it. I quoted from multiple, 7. I quoted from multiple shlokas. I didn't count. One big shloka, last point, na? Aushadham shloka that I quoted, that has 7 effects of hearing Krishna Katha. And before that, we discussed multiple other effects. Mukundamala Stotra. Any other question?
It's a little technical question. It may be silly also. But
Is it connected to our discussion? Yes, please.
I'm not so sure, but I'm asking you because it's coming to my mind. Prabhuji, we always talk of Krishna Katha, Krishna Katha. But there is also, I'm sure, when there are Vaikuntha planets. In the Vaikuntha planets, the Lord is Lord Vishnu. The people who go there are the ones who have love and devotion for Lord Hari, Lord Narayan, not Krishna. Not that they don't, I'm sure they understand that Krishna is superior to Lord Hari, but still their affection and their propensity is towards Lord Hari. That's why they have gone to Vaikuntha, right? So there they sing the glories of Lord Narayan, Lord Vishnu, or even in Vaikuntha planets, they speak about the Krishna pastimes.
I just quoted one shloka. You can see 3rd canto, 15th chapter, shloka number 17 till 23. In that series, they say 3.15, 0.17 onwards. In that series of shlokas, especially you can read 20th shloka. I quoted this shloka also in today's session. Yatsankulam haripadanati drishtair वैधूर्यमारकत हेममयैर्विमानैः येषां बृहत्कटितटास्मितशोभिमुख्य कृष्णात्मनं नरज आदधुरुत्स्मयाद्यैः. In this shloka, the first line says, Yat Sankulam Haripadanati Matra Drishtair. The drishti, the whole focus of all the Vaikuntha Vasis is on Hari Pada, the lotus feet of Lord Hari. Last line they say, Krishnatmanam naraja adadhurutsma yadir Krishnatmanam, they are completely Krishna conscious. Therefore, naraja adadhurutsma yadir. They will not have any passionate desires. So the words Hari and Krishna are coming in the same shloka in regards to Vaikuntha-vasis. So Vaikuntha-vasis are Krishna conscious. So basically, the same Lord has multiple forms. Krishna and Hari, Vaikuntha, Narayana, Vishnu, they're ultimately the same, but different devotees have different moods. Yeah, flavors. Different moods they have. They like to see the Lord in a very majestic form. Krishna in a majestic form is Vishnu. Vishnu in a very sweet form is Krishna. Both are ultimately same. God at home, God at office. God with 2 hands, God with 4 hands. God with 8 hands and 10 hands and 1,000 hands.
Lord Vishnu in the sense that they are just all the time looking for Krishna, them Vishnu is not so important. I was asking from that point of view that are they satisfied just by talking about or hearing about Lord Narayan or
They're satisfied. They're completely
but
satisfied.
at the same time,
Hanuman is satisfied. Hanuman is satisfied discussing only about Ram. Prahalad is satisfied discussing about Narasimhadev. But they acknowledge other forms. Hare Krishna. Any other question or comment? How much did I cross time or what? What is the time now? Huh? 8:10. Okay. Okay. I'm ready. Yes, Mata. Somebody wanted. Yes, Mata.
Understanding. You talked about happiness, 3 ways to gain happiness. The first one, meditation on the speak of God. Second, learning about God, Krishna, and third one was
Oh, association with devotees. Hearing in that association. Shloka number 4.9.11 and 12. 10 and, 4.9.10. 10 and 11. 4.9.10 and 11. Srimad Bhagavatam. Any other question or comment? Others? No questions. Mataji wants still 8:30.
that. That is also as good as Krishna Katha. But because we are not focused on the lotus feet of Krishna, and also we are not in association of devotees. The 2 points that you said that can give you complete absorption. So it becomes more of like my own nature. You're chanting, but you're thinking of so many other things.
Yes, correct. Actually, if we do it focus, nice focus, chanting, that holy name, Nam, will give us entrance into Rupa, Guna, Leela. Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela. These are the 4 aspects of either Kirtanam or Dhyanam, Smaranam, anything. Nama Smarana, Rupa Smarana, Leela Smarana, Guna Smarana. Nama Kirtan, Rupa Kirtan, Guna Kirtan, Leela Kirtan. In the first shloka of Sikshashtakam, Krishna speaks about, Mahaprabhu speaks about Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. He did not specifically mention Nama. He spoke about Krishna Sankirtanam. In the second shloka, he specified Nama. Nam Nama Kari Bahuda Nidhi Sarvashakti Tatrarpita Niyamati Smaranena Kala. So Nam specific shloka is second one. The first shloka is Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Glorify. Kirti means glory. Kirtana means glorifying. And that glorifying can be glorification of Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, either with our body, mind, or words. Kirtan is not just singing only. Kirtan is glorifying the Lord. You can do it with words also. Whatever we did so far is only Kirtan. So now, coming to Nama Kirtan or Nama Japa, whatever. When you are uttering the holy names of the Lord, that meditation or the dhyana or immersion or chanting of the names of the Lord will give us entrance into other three things of the Lord. Nam will give entrance into Rupa Guna Leela. Rupa Guna Leela. For example, you are chanting Ya Radha Shyama Sundar Radha Shyama Sundar Radhe. Then that utterance of the name Shyam Sundar will help us meditate on the form of Shyam Sundar. Oh, he's so beautiful. So our repeated utterance of the name Krishna, 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 Krishna will just throw us into a meditation on how attractive Krishna's form is, Krishna, how attractive Shyam Sundar is. So this Nama Dhyana or Nama Kirtana, Nam is giving you entrance into Rupa. And that Nam can give us entrance into Guna also. Oh, Jai Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Radhe. Just very soon we are going to do that. 3 weeks ahead. When you say Radha Damodar, Damodar name we are chanting, but you are remembering Damodar Leela. You are entering into this meditation on Damodar Leela. Then you will enter into meditation on the quality of Damodar. What is that? To be captivated, to be bound by his devotees' love. Right? To be bound by the love of his devotees. That's what Damodar Leela is. So just the chanting of one name of the Lord, Nama, can give you entrance into Rupa Guna Leela. If you chant that Nam properly. It's like an ocean. It's like an entry door into a bigger, wider, deeper, taller realm of Krishna's qualities. So yes, we may not be very focused, but we have to be focused. We should try to be focused. Let's keep trying. One day it will happen. Good. Rupa Goswami gives the, I'll repeat. In answer, you will get the question also. Rupa Goswami says, he gives the definition of bhakti. Anya abhilashita sunyam gnana karmadyanavritam. Anya abhilashita sunya means he should not have any material desires. Not that he should not have any desires. Desire for serving Krishna is great. Desire for serving Vaishnavas is great. Desire for self-preservation, you have to eat something and sleep something, that's also fine. But not desires that are disconnected from bhakti. That's clear. Anya abhilashita sunyam. Second line is Gnana karmadi anavritam. You can have gnana in bhakti. You can have karma in bhakti. But this gnana and karma should not overpower your bhakti. They should be subservients of bhakti. Karma means activity. In bhakti, is there no activity? Bhakti means devotion. But Prabhupada doesn't translate bhakti only as devotion. He translates as devotional service. So bhakti is not just an emotion. Bhakti is an action associated with an emotion. Or emotion associated with an action. So this action and emotion, both are combined. It's not that I love this person, I will not do anything for him. Doesn't work like that. So karma is included in bhakti. But that karma should be subordinate to your bhakti. Right? Your action should be a subordinate to your emotion. It should be in line with your emotion. But if action takes over and emotion is not there, means you are working, offering results to Krishna, but you have no love for Krishna. That is karma yoga. But you are working for Krishna. That is bhakti yoga. You are working because that work pleases Krishna. You are choosing that activity that pleases Krishna. That is bhakti yoga. But karma yoga means you are obsessed to do that work. You like doing that work and you did it. Okay, Krishna, you take this result. At the end of your work, you are offering that result to Krishna. That is karma yoga. But before even choosing the work, you are offering that work to Krishna. That is bhakti yoga. Well, let's come to gnana. Gnana means knowledge. Your main question, central question. So gnana means knowledge. In bhakti, there is knowledge. You do analysis of Bhagavad Gita, you do analysis of Bhagavatam. Nicely, you develop profound knowledge based on logic, reasoning, and all. But all your logic, reasoning, philosophical analysis should not overpower your devotion. Because you have devotion for Krishna, you love Krishna, you cultivate knowledge about Krishna. Because you love him, you try to know more about him. Where their bhakti is superior, jnana is subordinate. But if your jnana and if your philosophical analysis will overpower your devotion, for example, while studying Bhagavatam, some people will go into such deeper, quote unquote, speculative analysis. What happened to the dog that was running behind Rishabhadev? What happened to the deer which Bharat Maharaj is attached to? Because Bharat is a pure devotee. Deer should be elevated. What happened to the deer? Or what happened to the fishes uh, in that lake where Prachetas were doing austerities? Right? So there's a lot of curiosity. I mean, if the information is given, you can take. But sometimes we get too caught up in some intellectual analysis, intellectual gymnastics, that we miss the point. Ajamil episode, you can analyze it in 100 different ways. Why at all Ajamil got attracted to that prostitute? You may analyze so much, but what is the main lesson of Ajamil episode? Chant Hare Krishna. What all sinful activities Ajamil did? Okay. Gambling, for example. What gambling he used to do? He used to play cards. He used to, or I don't know what are different types of gambling now. Cards is one thing that I have heard. I never played, by the way. What exactly did he do? Your mind should not just think in the direction of certain obscure details of the pastime or unnecessary details of the pastime. We should focus on the essence. So, philosophical study or scriptural study can be done in two ways: in the mode of a bharavahi or in the mode of a saragrahi. Bharavahi means burden carrier. Saragrahi means essence seeker. Either you seek essence or carry the burden of analytical information. You analyze as much as it is required for you to come to the essence and focus on the essence. If your analysis is distracting you from the essence, conclusion, what's the point of analyzing? You're wasting your time. So, jnana is there in bhakti, but it's subordinate to bhakti, not doesn't distract you from bhakti. Which manvantara it happened, which AD, which BC. If it is there, you can definitely analyze it, but some information is not available. Fine, it's okay, leave it. Focus on the essence. Somebody asked me, Proven, Bhagavatam doesn't give all the details. What should we do? Whatever details Bhagavatam gives, you study that first. In Calcutta, some devotee asked with great enthusiasm, Prabhu, it's not clear, it's not clear. Whatever is clear, are we following? You cannot understand everything about Krishna anyways. Okay, any other question? Any other question, comment? Mhm.
Bhagavad 8.8 to 12 says, Vivikta Desha Sevitam, desiring solitary place for
Mm.
sadhana. Because of our own shortcomings, we commit offense in the devotees' association. There are restrictions in the name of association. Is it fine to take association on Zoom, books, etc.?
It's definitely okay to take association on Zoom, but that doesn't mean we have to avoid direct physical face-to-face association. What is the best way to avoid namaprad, offense to chanting the holy names? By not chanting. If you don't chant, there is no offenses in chanting only. What is the best way to avoid seva prad? Avoid seva itself. Uh, what is the best way to avoid drumsticks in sambar? Don't eat sambar. It's like that. Similarly, what is the best way to avoid Vaishnava aparadh? Stay away from Vaishnavas. Only Zoom. Dure dure dandavat. So we should interact with Vaishnavas, serve along with them, and try to avoid offenses. That's where purification happens. And by mistake, if you happen to offend, you beg forgiveness. And that's how we develop humility. Otherwise, we'll become proud that we have not offended anybody because we never associated with anybody. Right? So, so we need to associate with devotees. If somehow because of practical constraints or because of geographical location, physical constraints, if you are unable to go personally, that's fine, it's understandable. But when there is an opportunity to go and associate with devotees physically, then that's bliss. Now we all met together, one face to face. Otherwise, YouTube classes are there. We could have a played YouTube class also. Na? Why this physical association directly coming and sitting here? It has a different flavor. It is more personal touch. Uh, so that and we can see each other's emotions. We can talk to each other. So that has a different way of bringing the hearts together, which online platforms cannot provide much. But that's a wonderful alternative nowadays when you can't physically go. We are in one corner of the city, temple is another corner of the city. For you to travel in Mumbai traffic, you may take 2 hours. In that you can hear 2 hours of Krishna Katha also. So circumstantially you may stay away, but not in the mode of avoiding. Any other question or comment?
Hare Krishna, I have a question for Prabhuji. I have heard that if one chants with full consciousness, Krishna reveals himself. One doesn't need to read the Bhagavatam because Krishna allows you into his space. Prabhuji, you speak so spontaneously in anything and everything connected to Krishna. I am a very fallen soul. I read one volume of Bhagavatam and forgot everything. How many times have you read the Bhagavatam? And you're chanting when you do a wonderful Krishna Katha. How can we be more focused in chanting to live in Krishna consciousness?
Okay, so many questions there. I didn't even read once completely, properly. As far as seeing the expanse of Bhagavatam is concerned, yes, from first verse to last verse we went few times. But as far as depth is concerned, it's unlimited. We have not yet explored even little bit of the depth. And as far as remembrance is concerned, the ultimate goal of Shastric study is not to remember. Yes, Krishna Smaranam is the ultimate goal, definitely, but not exactly to remember which page or which sloka or which canto, which chapter, but to nourish the soul. Remembrance is like one good product, byproduct, but that's not the end product. Memory and recall are very small aspects of Shastric study. The main aspects are transformation of character, development of love for Krishna. Knowingly or unknowingly, some subtle transformation of heart is happening when we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam. We need to access that, we need to aspire for that, not just to remember. Somebody may remember 1,000 shlokas, but doesn't put even one shloka in practice. What's the point? So somebody's memory may be great, but application is important. So the Lord doesn't show his mercy seeing our memorization, but he shows mercy seeing our internalization, realization. So memorization is not as important as internalization of the shlokas or principles or pastimes. So we may take darshan of the deities, rather as Bihari deities. So maybe 10 days back you must have come here and took darshan. Did you remember which color dress that Ras Bihari was wearing? 3 days back you must have taken breakfast. Do you remember the menu? We may not remember, we eat. We don't remember the menu. But body is nourished. Similarly, we read or we hear. We don't remember what we read, but the soul is nourished. So because we ate 3 days back, Although we don't remember the menu, but still we are alive now because we ate 3 days back. Similarly, because we heard Srimad Bhagavatam, we are spiritually alive till now, although we don't remember what we have heard. So remembrance is not the main thing. Keep hearing, keep hearing. Whether you remember it or not, keep hearing. Don't emphasize on hearing. And don't evaluate the spiritual advancement of a devotee based on his memory. Character is more important than memory. Memory, remembrance, this can be skill. Okay, some Sukriti may be required and all that is there. Habits, Sattva, all these are required. But ultimately, uh, memory is not as important as internalizing and applying it. Application, internalization, realization is more important than memorization. There are a few thoughts.
When we hear about an avatar, forms of Lord, although he is the same, please guide how should one focus on the form as the same Lord, thinking him to be the same Lord. For example, Murari Gupta, he was attached to Lord Ram.
यद्यद्धियात उरुगाय विभावयन्ति तत्तत्वपुः प्रणयसे सदनुग्रहाय. The third canto of Bhagavatam, Brahma offers beautiful prayers. Especially the 5th and 11th prayers are amazing. Third canto, 9th chapter, you can read. So I quoted from there only. Yadyad dhyata urugaya vibhavayanti tattatvapuhu pranayase sadanugrahaya. When a devotee specifically loves and worships a specific form of the Lord will reciprocate with that devotee in that specific form only. The Lord has unlimited appetite and eagerness to reciprocate with his devotees, that he can take one unique form to reciprocate with one individual soul. One form, personalized, customized form, just to reciprocate with one person. To that degree, Krishna has appetite and enthusiasm to reciprocate with us. Total customized way. You have so many gadgets there. Whichever is matching your requirements, you have to find out. But sometimes any one product will not match all your requirements. Okay, whichever is wherever there is maximum match, you take that. But Krishna can reciprocate with you in a totally tailor-made, customized way. Completely. Even in one form, he will reciprocate with different devotees in different ways according to their moods. That is Krishna's personalism. There's nothing impersonal. Very personal. Krishna is extremely personal. One-to-one. So, is that connected? What exactly is the question? It's answered, or
How should one focus on the form as the same Lord, thinking him to be the same Lord?
Different avatars.
When we hear about an avatar, forms of Lord, although he is the same, please guide how should one focus on the form as the same Lord, thinking him to be the same Lord. For example, Murari Gupta, he was attached to Lord Ram.
okay, it's not that clear to me, but what I understood is, like, the one Lord has multiple forms. Different devotees are getting attached to different forms. Although we are seeing multiple forms, how can we understand that all of them are same? Is that the question? If that is the question, read Bhagavatam. It's very emphatically mentioned. Read Bhagavad Gita, okay? It's much simpler. Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya ja dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Sambhavami yuge yuge means I appear in different yugas, in different forms for these 3 purposes. To protect the righteous, to punish the vicious, and to establish dharma. He appears in different forms. All these are forms of the same God. Whichever form you like, you choose. So all these are forms of the same God. By reading Shastra, we understand that Krishna is the source of all the forms. All these are different forms of the same God. So by reading Shastra, we'll get that evidence. And you can choose your favorite deity. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada.